I don't know what happens because I just typed it into, but who knows? All right. Karen works part-time at a local convenience store and earns $10 per hour, da, 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 da. All right. Who's got A as an alpha? Okay, we got a couple of A's. Good. B as in broccoli. C as in Caroline. D as in dogwood. Some D's. E as in Ellen. All right, A is an alpha. Who is an A? There's some alpha guys. Okay. Cameron, right?
Yep.
Okay, talk to me.
I'm feeling less confident now.
It's okay. But you know what, Cameron?
We're gonna keep going on.
Right, because the best time really to raise your hand and answer something is when you're unsure, because then we'll unpack it. So go, talk to me.
All right, so I thought it was just as simple as, I'm gonna be more, I know it's just as simple as, $10 an hour. She's missing 4 hours, so she should make $40 at that time.
Okay. All right, now,
Plus, okay.
go on. You're gonna
Plus
answer
the-
your own
plus
question.
the price of the ticket. Yeah, okay, so,
So she lost that 40 in the price of the ticket, so she's minus 90, right?
yeah, so, yeah.
So that's why it's.
That's my new answer.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so it's D as in dogwood for exactly why he said it. It's the 50 for the ticket, the 40 she lost in earnings is 90. Okay, any questions? Now, for her to go to this concert, what does the marginal benefit of the concert have to be? Okay, but monetize it. I'm probably not asking you right, but we've got 3 hands. Can we get 5? Can we get to 5? Come on, 5 people who got it. We got 4. We got 5. All right, go.
Should be $9.
It should be at least $90. All right, now, obviously, when you go buy a ticket, you know, oh man, is my happiness not? No, but kind of you do like unconsciously. So her marginal benefit would have to be equal or greater than $90. Otherwise, she doesn't want to go. Okay? Any questions on that? All right. There were a lot of questions yesterday on those sheets. Why is it this one? Okay. All right, and by the way, usually the drill is a release AP question, just so you know. So we're getting it. All right, so here were things that people weren't sure about. And if you want to use the back of your notes, like there's a little room there if you want to just jot these down. If you don't, we went over them yesterday. But I thought I would go over because people had questions about all of them. All right. So the factors of production. All right. There are 4 factors of production, right? Land is a tricky one because it's natural resources. So oil is considered land as a factor of production. All right, the sun, water, all those things. Labor is labor to me. You know, it's people working. Capital, again, is tricky because it's not money. Capital, again, is things that make things. And I put the examples there, tools, tractors, machinery, building. All right, things that, so these are 3 of the 4 factors of production. And the 4th one is entrepreneurship. I'll give you a second if you want to jot it down. And by the way, you don't have to use the note sheet. Like if you prefer to write notes in your book or something, I just put it there to help you. And also the last thing you should know is if school's ever canceled, like the snow or some wimpy thing, I'll have class on Zoom. We're not missing class. Huh? So you guys got, well, yesterday I just videoed the class, so I was able to send the video, but we will have class, okay? All right, and then the fourth factor, I should go here. Capital is physical capital, also human capital. And like, just think you're going to school and we're making you better. That's human capital. Training, when you get a new job and they train you. But if any job I ever took, what do you think was the worst training? Training teachers. Isn't that kind of ironic too? Like teachers are supposed to be good at educating people, but they're horrible at teaching people how to teach.
How would you define entrepreneurship?
You're just always a step ahead of it. I would say I would shorten that to people who just solve problems. But, you know, there would be, you know. Like, those are the four factors of production. The way they try to trick you usually is which one of these is not a factor of production. We saw that yesterday. And they put money in there. Money is not a factor of production. Okay. All right. Any questions on this? This is something you guys asked about yesterday. Go, sir.
I didn't finish writing this one down, but I didn't get to finish the,
Okay, finish this. Tell me when you're done and I'll flip it. The factors of production are one of the few things you just have to have memorized. Okay, you good? All right. And again, I think labor, entrepreneurship, kind of like the ones that are tough are land and capital. And they do like to ask about human capital. I also will say, while he's finishing up, there's a practice quiz already posted on the topics page. I'm giving you one quiz on unit 1 and 2, but I gave you separate practice questions on chapter 1 and chapter 2. So then they're there, plus there's an answer key at the back after the question. So you can take the questions, then you could check, did you get them right or wrong? Okay. So there's it. I can't recommend more than you taking the practice assessments before every assessment. All right. I mean, I do a lot of research on how people learn. And one of the best study tools is taking quizzes and tests. And I think that they probably had that on that slide study. All right. Next up, that people had some problems. All right, scarcity versus shortages. All right, scarcity occurs all the time because we have unlimited wants and limited resources. You never have all the water you want. All right. Shortages are really less supply than demand. So they're temporary, right? You know, you have less supply. Like the video games, the supply is less, the demand's greater, there's a shortage. Sometimes you go to the store, they're out of something. That's a temporary shortage. But shortages are temporary. And they don't occur to everything. A lot of times they try to trick you on scarcity by saying, is water scarce? Now you don't think water's scarce because water's available to you all the time. But there is a scarcity. I mean, there's water shortages in a lot of places. Okay. Any questions on this? Go.
So yesterday you said Bill Gates is also like a victim of scarcity, so everybody's like not.
Right, because he doesn't have all the money in the world, right? If everyone in the world wanted money, even Bill would run out. He also has scarcity of time. That's- Are we good here? Yep. Okay. All right, opportunity costs versus trade-offs. All right, trade-offs are everything you give up when you make it, or everything, yeah, you give up when you're making a decision. So, the trade-offs say, for being in school, I think we went over yesterday, like, you could be working, you could be hanging out with friends, you could be sleeping. You could be just playing sports. Those are all trade-offs. The opportunity cost is the best one. All right, so trade-offs is everything you give up to make the decision. The opportunity cost is the best one, yes.
So it's that all opportunity costs are trade-offs, but not all trade-offs are.
Yes. Okay. Did the book explain that well, do you think? The difference?
I would love to do the direct side by side, like comparison of the two.
Okay.
Thinking about that.
He's writing for like, All right, explicit course. And we're gonna get a lot more into this and it'll be clearer. I'm just like truthfully previewing you for future chapters here. Explicit costs are traditional out of the pocket. All right, rent. Anything you buy is an explicit cost. I try to think of it as anything you spend money on. Okay? And accountants are only focused on explicit costs. That's the only thing accountants. Economists, and that's what we're going to be thinking like, unless specified, differently, they have explicit and implicit costs. Implicit cost is something that you don't lay out money. So before I became a teacher, I was a business owner. So I was making 150,000 a year. Then I become a teacher and I'm making 50,000. That cost me 100,000. Did I have to pay anyone 100,000? No. But the cost of giving up my business to teach was 100,000. Questions on that? A lot of people had that on their little sheets. Are we clear? Please ask if you're not. All right. Productivity is really how much each worker could produce. And the more productive workers are, the higher the standard of living. And I think that was one of the, it's in one of the 9 or 10, pretty sure. And then Cruz first. I'll leave that, I'm sorry. Now, a lot of times in your notes in the future, I'll write the definitions down, so you don't have to write like definitions down and you could just put examples. or things down for yourself. All right. I think this might be the last one. All right, marginal is additional, okay? Now, what we did here, when you told me the marginal cost is 90, and then someone said the benefit had to be at least 90 or more, that's marginal analysis. We're comparing marginal benefit to marginal cost. That's all it is. All right, again, we will use this all year. This will become like second nature to you, the thought. But marginal is additional. So marginal benefit, I'll give you 1 second, okay, is the additional benefit of that, usually extra unit. Go.
So how, like, what is marginal benefit? 'Cause, like, she went to the concert and spent $90, but what did she?
She had $90 worth of pleasure. And I know we don't think like that, but in a way we do, right? Like say you're going to a concert or whatever you like, a sporting event, there's a price you'll pay and then above that you won't, right? And that's it. You don't value that experience more than $100.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's kind of an unconscious thing, but we do it. But we don't really walk into the store and say, ooh, those sneakers, that benefits me about $83. But we sometimes walk into a store and say, I'm not spending more than $90. The most expensive sneaker when I was your age was Converse at $9. I remember my father saying, you better take care of these, like, they're $9. Okay. All right, here's like suggestions you get. Some people said they like those practice like problems we did yesterday. We'll try to do that as much as you can. Probably do it a lot in I think lecture is the worst place to learn. So like we're gonna do a lot of tests in lecture and even practice quizzes. Go over the wrong answers. When I give you like 10 of those, it's hard to go over why A, B, C, and D is wrong if D is the answer, because it takes a ton of time and we don't have that much time. But please, if you pick B, or if you pick the right answer, but you still go, like B sounds good. Ask, okay? And more examples. I try to provide more examples today. I hope, but keep badgering me if I don't give you enough examples. Anything we went over from yesterday that you are still not clear on? Okay, here we go. All right, let's remember when the Holy Presence God, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear God, thank you for returning the power. Thank you for so far a great week. And hopefully we could finish on a strong note. St. John the Baptist de La Salle, live Jesus in our hearts. Last year I didn't put the slides on. I probably forgot to pray it. All right. So by Friday, you should be finishing chapters 1 and 2 of the reread. We'll have the quiz will be on Monday. Chapters 1 and 2, they'll be in lecture. There's a practice quiz already posted. I'll be here in that's room 108 on Monday at 7:45. And you get about a minute per question. I'll have to look to see how many questions it is. Because it's 2 chapters, it might be 15. So that would give you like 15 minutes to do the quiz. Why do I time it? Because the AP exam's timed, and I want you to just get used to it. Some of you might run out of time. That's okay. That's part of getting better. So don't worry about it. All right. If I'm being totally honest, the quiz isn't very, chapter 2, chapter 1 especially isn't that very hard. But take the practice test because I think there's some tricky questions on chapter 2 that's in the practice test. Any questions on this? No? All right, great. Here is the circular flow diagram. First graph of the year. Graphs are economics. Even though we don't use this that much. Here's what you need to know. On the outside is the money flow. Okay, that's pretty much telling you how the money flows through the economy. The product market, think of the mall. Now, anywhere you get things, that's the product market. Any store. The factor market, that's the, you notice there's the four factors of production there. This is like where you make things. Okay, now, I think I wrote this a lot on your summer assignment. In the product market, who demands? Someone? All right,
Consumer,
on this diagram, who are we going to diagram the consumer as?
the people go to the firms, so firms,
Not
households.
households. So households demand in the product market, firms supply, okay? Right? Firms are like making products and they're selling them to like Macy's. Macy's is the product market, households are going. In the factor market, who supplies labor? Household supply. Who demands? Firms. So it flips. That's right. Firms need labor. Firms need machines and factories. All right.
What did you say was missing?
What is missing in the middle? What do you think should be smack in the middle of this? Government. Yeah. Give yourself a pat on the back. Good job. Government is missing. Okay. We'll put government in there when we get to macro. All right. All right. That's the circular flow. All right. Production possibilities curve is the start of real graphing. Is that the next thing on your notes? Did I put that there? Yeah, okay. All right. All right. So production possibilities curve, sometimes called, look, there's 10 textbooks for like AP Econ. And like, for whatever reason, the College Board can't do what I just did, production possibilities frontier. I gotta guess which one they're gonna use, so I try to show you both as a model. All right. It demonstrates scarcity, trade-offs, opportunity costs, and efficiency. It's kind of all you need. You don't have to write all the garbage I wrote down up here. All right. That's what makes the production possibilities curve great. It shows you scarcity, trade-offs, opportunity costs, and efficiency. And truthfully, don't worry about, I'm not even gonna keep the 4 feet subject. Don't even worry about that. Okay. We good? Tell me if you need another second.
I need another second.
Yeah, sure. Just tell me when you go, okay? Good, everyone's good? Okay, all right. Boom. Tell me what you could tell me about this curve. Let's go. Who's got something they can tell me about the curve? All right, Cameron.
So the line is the most efficient way of using their resources.
So A, B, C, D, and E are all efficient. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
Everything on this line is efficient.
yes.
All right, that is true. Everything on the line is efficient. All right, what else could we say about, that we know about the production possibilities curve?
For every 14 bikes, there's 8 computers.
Okay, yeah, that's the ratio. That is correct.
Anything under the line would be they're not using enough of their resources.
Okay, so inefficient. I gave you unemployment as a typical example of inefficiency. Anything below the curve is inefficient.
Who's drawing this in the second box?
You can put it wherever you want, to be honest. I'm not a. Aiden, anything else about this curve you know? How about if I put a point out here?
That exceeds the resources that you have.
Okay, so you lied to me, you knew that. Okay, anything on the outside, as Aiden said, is unattainable. Okay, with present day resources. And as we move, say, from A to B and B to C, we see the trade-off, right? Because as, say, you make more computers, you make less bikes. And obviously, if you're going the other way, as you make less computers, you make more bikes. All right, this is the production possibilities curve. It does stay with us all year. Any questions so far? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to give you a quick second to go through these, but before we do it, could anyone tell me the opportunity cost moving from A to B?
Two bikes.
Okay, so the opportunity cost moving from A to B, $2. Are we clear? All right, give you like a minute. Why don't you go through the rest of them, okay? God bless you. All right, the opportunity cost from B to D. Daniel?
7 bikes.
7 bikes, right? At B, he's got 12, and we went to D, it's 5, so we got 7 bikes. All right, who's got number 3 from D to B? Miles?
4 computers.
4, I thought I was gonna get you on that one, but no. All right, D, 6 computers, 2, 4. All right, F to C. Oh, come on, we got 3, let's go. We need some more hands. Come on. You got this one. Justin,
Or is it one? Or whatever.
so you're saying 0?
Yeah,
Zero. You want to look at that again, Justin? You don't want to give the right answer?
I mean, whatever, I guess whatever it takes to be able to make that or.
So,
or-
Are you sticking with zero or you moving?
Yeah, 0.
Cameron?
Is it 3 bikes, 4 computers?
How'd you get that?
To the line. Is that not so-
Oh, you went up and like, okay. Actually, Justin's a tough man. I tried to bluff him out. I couldn't. Zero computers. It's zero. And here's why. You were inefficient here. So you just go to zero.
So why is 2 bikes and 3 is computers?
So-
Like the questions.
Oh.
Why wouldn't they all be
Yeah.
bikes or why would they all?
Oh, when you're going this way, you're, so when you're going this way, right? You're making less bikes. So you're making less computers, and that's how many bikes. So when you're going this way, it's gonna be bikes, and when you're going this way, you're gonna use that option.
I didn't really understand.
Okay,
I didn't really understand that.
are you good now?
No.
Could someone maybe do better than that? Go.
So when you're traveling from A to E, you're going to be dealing with bicycles. So for the first one, when you're going from A to B, you're dealing with your bicycles because there's a change. It's the, I guess the hypotenuse of that triangle that you see on the graph. It works. That's what it is.
I know,
It-
but you might be too mathy for him.
Nah.
Are you good on that? Okay, that would be too mathy for me.
And then if you're going at the bottom, just whatever hypotenuse is in the triangle, so wherever the right angle meets is gonna be that line.
Thank you.
Okay, good job. What math are you taking this year?
Honors pre-calc.
Okay, that was pretty, you were pretty good there. I would have promoted you. Okay. Future growth, where do we want to be? Future growth for this country. Do we want to be at A, B, C, D, or E? Let's get 5 hands up for this one too. Oh, man, we've got a ton of it. Is that Noah? Charles, right? Charles. Go.
E,
What'd you say?
E,
B as in boy,
no, E,
E as in Ellen. Can we get there, Charles?
eventually,
But
no, or no.
no, so where we are now,
B. No, A.
A or E?
B. It's in the middle.
You're going B?
I'm going
Yeah,
B.
you like the middle road.
I do.
All right. There might be. Mr. Hobbs,
I would say A.
you're saying A. Okay, so we got a little debate going. Joey, what are you going with?
A,
All right, Joey, why A and not B?
because, capital goods are like the factory stuff that create more resources. And consumer goods are like producing more bread, their shirts or something. So it's just like things that can cost.
Does that make sense to you? At A, you're making more machines, more equipment. So in the future, you can then build, okay? So you always want, when you see future growth, you're always looking for capital goods. And when you see capital goods, you know there's gonna be future growth. Okay? So can we get like one last thing? Okay? All right. When there is a constant opportunity cost, resources are easily adaptable. Okay? Meaning, if you have the skill to make pizza, you have the skill to make calzones. By the way, just a little fact, I'm a pretty fast pizza maker. All right, the graph is gonna look like this. It's gonna be a straight line. If it's a straight line production possibilities curve, what do we know? We know it's a constant opportunity cost, and we know that resources are easily adaptable. All right, so if they showed you a graph like this, they could ask you what the opportunity cost is, and you need to say constant. They could ask you, are resources easily adaptable? Yes. Okay? All right, I'll pull this back in. All right, any questions on anything we did today? Questions? Okay, if you guys can fill out that sheet, put it in the box, and then you're free to go. Have a great day. We will finish our production possibilities curve tomorrow. So hold on to these notes because you're gonna need them tomorrow.